Hi guys, thank you for being interested in this tutorial, and this time we're going to focus on the tabs animation as we see in the ASOS application here, the mobile application, not that I clicked on it by mistake. So clicking is going to switch between the tabs, and also dragging between them, actually swiping is going to switch between the tabs, and we're going to create the same thing in Figma. So we have here the Figma prototype that we can actually tap on each tab, and we see the animation of the switching between the contents here. And also by dragging it, I can also drag and switch the content. We can also scroll it, and you can scroll and swipe and tap on it, so everything kind of like works together perfectly. And this is what we're going to create in Figma, so let's jump in. Okay, so what I brought here to our creation page is actually this simple frame. We have this kind of like a simulated app header, which doesn't have that much, kind of like a status bar indicator, and we have these two icons that I just made simply for this tutorial, and we have a simulation of a bottom navigation bar that will do. Again, we're not focusing on the design, we're focusing on animating the tabs and seeing exactly technically how it works. And again, these dead simple content cards just to simulate content in the page. Okay, so now we're going, you know what, let's go ahead and create the tabs. So let me see, this is going to be the first tab, and the first tab is going to be, let's give it a semi-bold. 18 is fine, and we're just going to create the two states of the tab. So actually I'm going to auto layout it, Shift A, by the way, sorry, I'm going to Control Z here, and this is going to be add auto layout, so it's a Shift A, either Mac or PC, the same, it doesn't matter. And let's call it just tab, and this is the selected state of it. You can also do it by a toggle that switches between the selected and not, but it's just two states, it doesn't matter that much. I mean, that's quite simple, do it any way that you want. By the way, if you're not familiar with components, variants, and so on, I do suggest that you check out the other tutorials that I have on components and variants. It will definitely help you to understand all what we're doing here better. Okay, so this one is, we're gonna do it kind of like aligned to the center of it, and it is going to be in a fill container, which is good for us. And the second, I'm gonna work with the auto layout fill container. It means that it's always going to fill the container, meaning the auto layout which holds it, no matter what is going to be written here, keeping the same padding that we have on the sides. Okay, and we will see it in a minute. This is going to be the default, which is not selected, the default state, and I'm going to make it, let's give it a regular weight, and we are going to give it a bit of a grayish color, something like that. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Okay, good. And I'm gonna just select them both and make it a component set. So we have the tabs, and now I'm gonna take this one and actually create the tabs from it. So this is going to be the first tab, and yeah, this is going to be the this is going to be the second one. Oh, and this one I'm going to give it not a auto height, it's going to be auto width. So it's going to fix this one, and this is going to be in a hug contents, and this one also in a hug contents. We're going to have all of them behaving the same. And this one, yeah, let's give it the same thing, and this is going to be in a hug contents. Good. And this one is going to be now the default, which is going to be like that. And we're going to duplicate the third one, which I'm going to put them all actually in an auto layout which holds them, and this is going to be tabs slash first. Okay, good. By the way, you can just make it a component and create variants by clicking here, by adding variants. Sometimes I just design all the frames, all the states of it, and just combine them as a component set. Technically wise, it doesn't matter at all. It's the same thing. Okay, I mean, you get to the same results anyway. Let's give them a 20 pixels between them. I guess that's okay. We can also change if we want. We can always change if you want to. And I am gonna give it a higher padding because I want the content to scroll behind it, and I want some space or room for the indicating line. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to give it a fill because I want the content to scroll behind it. It's not going to be transparent. And let's add the indicating line, give it this color, something like that. It doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, this is good. And I'm just gonna throw it inside the auto layout, give it a name. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna give it a name of an indicating line, or let's call it a selected indicator. Okay, and we're gonna give it an absolute position. Giving it an absolute position meaning that it's gonna float inside this auto layout, and we can place it just anywhere that we want inside the auto layout. So absolute position, we're going to align it to the bottom, and this one is in a hug. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 375, which is the width of our screen. You can do that in any given situation. Just change it according to what you need. And by the way, what I'm showing here on desktop, doing it like a tabs area on desktop, practically it's exactly the same. Of course, on desktop you're not going to do the dragging behavior, but I'm going to show quickly after we're done with this one how to do it with a push interaction, which you can actually achieve the same thing without even having to do the drag behavior for it. So I'm just gonna kind of like stretch this line to the width of the word. Okay, and in any other design that you want, you can make it if you want longer, as you wish. Again, it's just up to your decision. And by the way, this one I need to change to third tab. Yeah, so now it's good. Okay, and now I'm gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna call it second. Okay, and in the second one we're going to switch this one to selected. This is going to be default, and this indicating line, actually, yeah, we're going to place it correctly, yeah, like that, and it aligns with the end of this word. Good. And the third one, we're going to call it, of course, third. And this one is going to be default. This one is going to be sorry, not deselected. This one is going to be deselected. And yeah, we're going to take this indicating line. I'm just going to drag it or kind of like make it move easily here. Yeah, let's align it. Yeah, it's aligned now, and good. Okay, done. So we have all the tab states that we need. I'm just gonna select them all together and create it again, a component set. Okay, so we're gonna take the first one, copy, we're gonna place it here. Yeah, let me just take it down a bit. Okay, and it's going to be all the way up to here, and yeah, let's move it all the way here, and it's going to be also in a fixed position. You see, fixed position when scrolling. And actually I'm gonna put this is the bottom nav. This is going the head. Yeah, okay, so let me put it just below the header as well. So we have the header of the application. You can call it top bar, header, main part, any way that you want. Bottom navigation and tabs. Good. Okay, the bottom nav, tabs can be above it, just here. Okay, cool. So we're done with that, and we're gonna take these and put them here. This will align to here, and that's it. Okay, this is the simple content tags cards that I created just to simulate content on the page. Of course, in your design, it's gonna be real content, and you're gonna place there whatever you need according to your designs. I'm gonna make this frame a bit higher. Let me take one of these. place it in the middle, put it here, and let me duplicate it. Yeah, something like that. Auto layout, and we're gonna call it content. And let me duplicate it just 2 more times. I'm gonna make the frame higher to be able to see it. Good. And this one is going to be, let's say, shorter, and this one is going to be duo. It's just the names that I gave them, it doesn't matter honestly. And yeah, something like that. I'm gonna select only these rectangles. By the way, I can select only the rectangles by holding the control or command. Then I can select this rectangle, and by holding the shift and keeping the control or the command pressed, then I can just select all of them like that, and I can easily just change the colors. Okay, cool. So we have the first page kind of done, and of course, as I said, it's going to be with your designs. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this one, okay, and I'm going to call it content 1, and I'm going to duplicate it again, and here I'm going to just give it different color. I'm going to call it content 2, which it is called already. Yeah, that's good. Let's give them a bit of a space. Oh, we're gonna fix it with an auto layout anyway, something like that. And this one we're gonna give a different color just to see that we actually switched between them. Yeah, that's okay. Good. I'm gonna put them all in an auto layout, which gonna hold them. It's gonna be called content. That's okay. Again, it's just a rough and quick simulation. It doesn't really matter. Yes, something like that. It's good. That's okay. And this one is going to be, or let's place this one on top, and this one is going to be like that. Good. Okay. Now these, yeah, let's give them kind of like, yeah, I guess that this is enough. And I'm gonna actually take, let's put it on the side here. Okay, I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna click this one and paste to replace. So what we have now actually is all these 3. That's why, I mean, I'm putting them all 3 together because I want to create also the drag interaction between my screens. Okay, so it's the number of the tabs you want to do. If you want to create a drag interaction, you can do that easily like that. Okay, so now if I'll unclick this checkbox, so you will see that all the content is actually here. Now we're going to duplicate this page. Okay, I'm duplicating this page. Now I'm going to switch to the second tab, and this one I'm going to actually put in the middle. I'm going to align it to the middle so we see the mid content page that we created out of the 3. And this one, I'll duplicate it again. That's the third page. And actually I'm going to select the third tab as expected, and this one I am going to actually align it like that, just to quickly have it brought to the middle, and do this. That's it. Basically, screen wise we are done. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make it a bit kind of like, I'm gonna place them a bit far from each other to see more easily the drag interactions that we will create between them. Okay, so yeah, so now let's create the interaction. So the second tab, actually prototyping, is gonna lead here, of course. On tap smart animate 300 milliseconds. Yeah, that's okay. And the third one, we are going to actually hook up to the third one, of course, makes sense. And this is the third. We're gonna actually connect it here. The second one is gonna be here. The first is gonna be here. Sorry, well, it didn't happen actually. It's going to be here, and the first one we will actually bring back to here. So basically, animation of the tabs without the drag one. Let's give it a test drive and see how it works. We're going to close this one, and this is the new one that we created. Let's see how it works. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, cool. Seems that it's working great. Okay, so we got that working, and now let's create the drag interaction between them. So I'm going to select the first one, which is actually, you know what, I'm gonna place them even more far because it's gonna be a bit difficult to see, I guess. Yeah, so you see this one actually, I'm going to connect it, I'm gonna drag an interaction from it and connect it to this frame. Now in here, I'm going to select the on drag interaction, smart animate 300 milliseconds. That's okay. By the way, I'm explaining the duration on the drag interaction because the drag interaction actually can happen as fast or as slow as I am creating the drag with my mouse or with my finger. When I make a up to 50% of the movement, if I leave it, it's going to go back. This is when the duration kicks in. And if I do more than 50% of the animation of the movement of that element, when I leave it, it's going to end. It's going to actually, when I leave the interaction with my mouse or with my finger, so it's going to finish it all the way to the end, and this is when the duration actually kicks in. Okay, now this one is going to be hooked up here with a drag interaction. Okay, and it's gonna be hooked up also from here to the third one. Okay, you can do it both ways with a drag interaction. You can do it to both directions. And this one, yeah, it's a bit tough to see it like that. This one is gonna be hooked up to here, drag on drag. Good, let's see if it's working. So of course it's working. Excellent. Okay, so we can drag and make this animation. So tapping and dragging works perfect. Okay, good, nice. So we got that going. Now actually after we did all these interactions, we can place these screens actually like that. Yeah, okay, so basically what I wanted to show you, just to kind of like give it a bit of explanation how to do it with another way, but I mean how to do it not with another way, in another way, is doing it with a push interaction, but it's only for tapping, and that is good actually for desktop screens when you have an area and you want to switch contents in it with tabs. So you can do it by push interaction. I will show it right now. Let's actually duplicate these screens. Okay, and let's take them here. Okay, and let's go to design, and let's say that actually, you know what, let's take this one. I'm going to duplicate it, and we are going to break the auto layout, meaning actually ungroup it. So now we have actually each one of them separately, so we don't need these ones. Yeah, we're going to delete them, and I'm going to take content 1, copy, and I'm going to place it here. It's going to be in the middle, and we'll give it a Y of like 190, I guess, or 180. Let's just drag it to its place, something like that. Good. And this one actually, you know what, I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to copy it and actually select this one and paste, sorry, this one and paste it in the same place. Now, because when I copy from one frame and put it on another frame, it's placing it exactly in the same place. Now what can I do is just select this one, copy, and this one just paste to replace. Select this one I mean, copy, and select it here and paste to replace. Done. So we have these three screens. We don't need this anymore actually. And now actually let me just click on it. I'm going to close it and click and just present it in our, yeah, so this one is working, you see. Actually this one actually is just fades in and it doesn't do the animation of the pages. I mean, this animation works, the indicating line and the switching between the tabs themselves, but not the content of the page. What we'll do now is we will change the interaction. I'm going to change it to, I'm going to change it to actually push, okay, push interaction, which goes like that. This direction is good, and I'm gonna click on smart animate matching layers, meaning that it's gonna smart animate only the tabs. So it's a push interaction, smart animating matching layers. We can do that the same from here. Second, this one, let's give it the same. So it's going to be push smart animate. This direction is good. Now just going to put our attention to the right direction of it. So it's going to be, like that, I guess. Smart animate, and here we're gonna do the push like that. Yes, that's okay. Smart, and we'll see if I mix something here so we can fix it. No problem. This is going to be a push, which is going to be like that, I guess. And this one, let me see, push, and like that. Okay, let's see what's going on now. Cool, so we have it working, you see, now it's working perfectly. And again, we don't have the drag interaction, but we do have, and we can scroll, by the way, and it can work actually the same. We can scroll and it works good. So two ways to do that. Again, this is without the drag interaction. It can fit very nice to a desktop screen if you need to create a scrollable area with tabs, and this one is with a drag interaction, which actually fits perfectly for a mobile screen. And yes, I think that that's about it. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I would be very happy for your like if you like the tutorial, and I would be even happier if you subscribe to my channel and help this channel kind of like keep on making great tutorials, keep on growing. Thank you so much, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye now.